Hello folks. So this is, oh, this went very yellow, hasn't it? Let me give it a second to adjust the fact that it's not looking at a computer screen anymore. So this is a wee brief update video. Two updates. That's two fingers. Very briefly, which one will I start with? We'll start with the channel update. Today, on the 19th of December 2016, at 12:45 p.m. p.m. have decided that I am, well, it wasn't 12:45 p.m. God, I talk a lot of nonsense whenever I'm in video. Not just in video, real life too. Oh, there you go, the screen's back to being white again. I've got rid of all the adverts from my videos. Basically because, as you know, as I'm sure you're aware, as long time viewers of ASMR or just, YouTube in general, ads are annoying. And one of my one of my fans, crazy stalkers, Treester, said during the week there, big loud noise. And I was like, close the window. But she said, no, there was an advert. And I was like, well, what can you do about it? So then she suggested Patreon, and I said no, because, I'm not that big a channel, I don't need Patreon. And she said, what about PayPal? And I was like, no, I'm not a dick. So being a true dick and going back against my word, I've opened a PayPal thingamajig, and I will be putting it in the description of my videos. Now, of course, fernet that. That's a funny word, fernet. I don't know if that's a Northern Ireland word or just, I was going to say my surname there, or a family word that my dad says. But fernet that, forbuy that, I'm getting rid of all the adverts of all my videos before. So don't feel, don't feel that you have to donate to me. I have a job, and I basically work every day of the year if I could, because other than that I'm bored. So if you want to donate towards my channel, cheers. If you think I'm getting big-headed, well, I'm not. Blame Treester. I'm quite sure she will comment on this video, and if you wish to vent annoyance, do it at her. Anyway, so second part of the update. A few weeks ago, someone asked me, can I do a video on prime numbers? Now, that may sound like a silly question considering the number of videos I've been doing on prime numbers. But I think basically it was more, give me a second here, one leg's off the table. Okay, I think it was basically, what are prime numbers? I've noticed over the last few years that my handwriting has gotten to be shocking. Because like whenever I was younger, so much younger than today, my mum used to get me to write Christmas cards, and now I can't stand my own handwriting. Right, so what are prime numbers? They are numbers that are divisible. Is my hand on screen? Give me a second to look down. It is. Numbers that are divisible by only, I'll capitalise them, only themselves and 1. So basically, the first prime is 2. Why is it not 1? I don't know. Google it. So you start off with 2, and then 3 is a prime, because the only number that divides into 3 is 1 and 3. Now 4 isn't, because 1 divides into it, but so does 2, so that's not a prime. Now 5, put me ticks beside the primes. 5 is a prime because the only number that divides into that is 1 and 5. Next up, 6. Well, that's not a prime because 2 and 3 divide into it. And 7 is a prime because, well, 1 and 7 are the only numbers that divide into it. And we'll skip up a wee bit, and where will we go? We'll go to the high 20s. So 28. That isn't a prime because you have 2 and you have 4 and you have 7. Basically, that's what the word is. The only factors, so primes, the only factors are 1 and the number. Okay, so basically so take a number n. I say it's been years since I did maths, like no proper maths. So if n belongs to the set of, I can't even remember what is it natural numbers? We'll go for natural numbers, where n is greater than or equal to 2, then, I don't know, I'm making this very complicated or stupid, then n is, come back here you, sorry, my laptop screen just turned off, then n is prime if and only if the factors of n is the set I can never do those things. What's it? You do that? Yeah, okay, go away. 1 and n. There you go. You see? Let's make this more fanciful than it is. So say, for example, pick a random number, Kevin. Let's say 66. Well, that's not going to be a prime, number 1, because it's even. So there's another little thingamajigmabob. If a number is even, and it's not 2, then it will never be a prime. Never ever. In 100 million quadrillion years. So if a number is even, it's not going to be a prime number. If it ends in 5, it's never going to be a prime number because 5 will divide into it. If the numbers add up to 9, it'll never be a prime number because 9 will divide into any number divisible by. 9 will divide into any number whose digits add up to 9. That's just a wee factoid. So anyway, so what I was going to say was, now here I have my sheets. Now sometimes you will see me whenever I'm working through these, if you're asleep or if you're even marking these at all, as a blank page, you might think to yourself, what's he doing? So installation is finished, fantastic. I just bought Microsoft Office. Anyway, right. Now we'll start. We'll start. Okay. Now, see, this is only what I called. I need to use a prime number for this. Okay. So here we have. Where's our good prime? Keep quiet. I'm looking for a good prime. Will you shut up, laptop? Hold on a second. You have to talk to inanimate objects sometimes and tell them to shut up, otherwise, you know, they don't know who's boss. Right, I'm looking for a prime. Okay, so I'll go for 806. No, I'll tell you what. Let's make this easier for myself. Get an early prime. Okay, so we have 367. So you see here, here's the thing, right? The primes that I've met. So by this stage, 367. There's one little rule that you need to know, well, I know it because I learned it in university, is that I'm not quite sure if I can word it correctly, but if you take the square root of a number, the only primes that will divide into it are less than the square root. So roughly the square root of 367, I haven't got a clue. See, 16 squared is that, 17 squared is that, 18 squared is, I don't, actually we'll try it if there's 19 squared. So, okay, so 367. Any primes less than 19. You won't be able to get any primes less than 19. Sorry, shut up again. You won't be able to get any primes higher than 19 as a factor. That's just it. It's just a rule, because it's divided. This is whatever. So this is what I do. I'm overcomplicating this, but hey, if I push you to sleep, super duper starship trooper. So 367, is this a prime? Well, you see, with all the previous primes that I've met, it becomes times tables. That's what multiples are, okay? So what I do is, now 367 is an odd number, so I know 2 is not going to be a factor. So then 3 can't be a factor because it's only 1 away. So basically, let me put this another way. 2 is going to be a factor every 2 numbers, okay? 3 is going to be a factor every 3 numbers, and so on. 5 is going to be a factor every 5 numbers. 7 is going to be a factor every 7 numbers. 11 is going to be a factor every 11 numbers, just the times tables of every number. And where they overlap, that's where you have multiple factors of for different numbers. 13 will be every 13 numbers. So basically what I do is I look back and I see, well, is 2, and well, it's not going to be 2, but say, so I look for 367. Is 3, well, 3 is too close, so 3 is not going to be a factor. 5, well, 5 is not going to divide into 367 anyway, so that's not going to be a factor. 7, well, there's 7 there, it's too close, that's not going to be a factor. Next up is 11, there's 11, it's too close, it's not going to be a factor. 13 is too close, it's not going to be a factor. Next up is 17, then you look back, well, there's 17 there, so that's not going to be a factor. 19, there's 19, and by that stage you now reach the point where you're higher or equal or higher to what the square root's going to be, so that doesn't have any factors, so that is going to be a prime number. Okay, let's say I'll pick one slightly higher up. Let's see, slightly, a couple of hundred above. Okay, 569. 25 25s isn't a prime. I know 25 is not a prime, but that's 600. 24 24s is not a prime. What's 23 23s, Ken? Okay, there's 23 23. It's 529. So we know that any primes less than 23 are what I'm looking for here. So 569. I know 2 is not a factor because obviously it's an odd number. I know 3 is not a prime because it's too close. Next up I look for 5, it's too close. I look for 7, it's too close. I look for 11. 11's for almost there, but it's not, because say if you add 11 on, it'll be 572, and say there's 572. So next up is 13. There's 13, but it's not. Sorry, it's too close. Next up we have 17. There's 17. It's too close. And then we have 19. 19. There you go. Well, 19 is the next one. So that's my method that I use. Sometimes you might hear me saying, "Where are you? Where are you?" Or like I'm just looking for a specific prime. After a while, the page does get a bit blurry. I tend to do these on night shift whenever it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm getting tired. So there you go. That's the method that I'm using in case you're watching it and wondering what I'm doing. Hopefully that's helped you. For the person who asked what primes are, and for any of you who are watching wondering what the hell is he doing. So that's that. So I have so far posted off one of the calendars of my lovely V5 high-tech point pens and the pen. I'll be posting another one today on the way into work. And if you're watching, Eric B, get in touch, because you haven't answered my post. So if you don't get in contact, I might just have to give it to someone else. So there you go. And finally, as I say, I've taken the ads off all my videos, so you can enjoy them in peace and quiet. Down below in the description there will be a PayPal thing. If you want to send me some money, hey, no problem. If you don't, hey, I don't care. Sorry, I don't. Well, yeah, basically, I'm not gonna be begging money off you. If you want to send me something because you appreciate my channel, sure, whichever. If you don't, hey, it's your money. Life's tough. Life's hard. Right. So that's all for now. I'm waffling far too long. This wasn't meant to be a 16-minute video. Okay. Cheery bye.